Hey, what's up, guys? So today I'm basically solely talking about taking the Asvab and the Picat. So a lot of y'all don't know that I'm choosing to go to the Army. This has been a decision of mine for about a year, for personal reasons that I'll get to later on. Um, so basically, I've been getting my tattoos removed, and which you guys can see that on my page. You guys can see the hand one on my page at least. I got one more session for my hand. I got about four more for my neck. So I decided to go ahead and take the Picat and the ASVAB early so I can know what I need to work on versus me getting my tattoos removed and then, figuring out what I need to work on. I didn't want to fail my test after I get my tattoos off and then be like, oh, well, now I got to spend an extra 3 months just to study, right? So yeah, so that's why I just went ahead and made a decision to go ahead and take the ASVAB and the Picat. So basically, I went to the recruiter's office, and there's two people in the classroom. There's me, and there's a Hispanic guy. The Hispanic guy, he's asking me for help, and every problem he goes through, he's asking me for help. And I didn't want to help him. For one, I didn't want to get in trouble. For two, I want you to know what you're doing when you go there. Like, you were supposed to study for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not supposed to be asking me anything because I can't help you when we get inside of Meps and take the ASVAB, right? I can't help you out, or I'm going to get in trouble. So, long story short, then he gets to asking the recruiter for help, and the recruiter's telling him the same thing. Like, look, man, I cannot help you. This is not my responsibility. You should have studied. Boom. So after we take the Picat, I scored a 69 on my Picat. Now I want to tell you guys that the Picat and the ASVAB is in no way the same as taking the actual ASVAB. The only thing that I've seen that was a bit similar was taking the paragraph comprehension. So I would say paragraph comprehension is probably my best when it comes to like academic wise, like just reading, writing, stuff like that. So that's about the only thing that I've seen that was a little bit similar to the ASVAB that was on the PICAT. Everything else like math knowledge, arithmetic, that stuff is nothing alike. The PICAT is super duper easy versus the ASVAB is extremely hard and long. Um, so the recruiter drives us to the Meps station and stuff like that, and I take my test. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super duper nervous when I'm taking my test. Like, I'm nervous. Like, some told me I was gonna pass, but then I had that little thought in the back of my head, like, man, I'm finna fail, I'm finna flunk this test, and I'm finna have to come right back and take it again. But you know what? I just kept at it. I just kept doing my test. It took me about 2 hours. I'm not gonna lie, it took me about 2 hours. Once I finished my test, though, uh, they handed me an envelope. Like the instructor, he handed me an envelope. He told me to give it to my recruiter. Now let me mind you, like, I'm super like curious and anxious to know what I got. So I'm like, man, I'm not finna wait on my recruiter. Forget this. So I opened up the envelope, but then I'm like, you know what? I see, because MEPS, like, it's filled with like Navy personnel, Army, Marines, stuff like that. So even though going to the Army, there's still people in the Navy that's there. So I see a lady that's in the Navy. She's just kind of staring at me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just call my recruiter and ask him, can I open it up? So I called his phone. He was like, hey, what's up? I was like, yeah, they told me to give an envelope to you. I was want to know if I can open it up. He was like, yeah, man, go ahead, open it up. Um, um, is the other guy that's with you, is he finished yet? I was like, nah, he's not finished yet. But and then he was like, okay, so like when he gets finished, just give me a call and I'll come pick y'all both up. So once I hang up the phone, I open up my envelope. So it turns out that I actually passed, but I passed with a 39. That was my issue. Even though I qualified to get the job that I want, which is a 92 Yankee supply specialist, I passed to get that. Um, it was a pretty lower score. It was a low score compared to what I got on the Picat. The Picat, as you guys can see right here, is why I got this out. The Picat, I ended up getting a what I get, a 69, right? So you see, like, my line scores, all that stuff's pretty high. Versus when I went, so this is the envelope. Like, they're gonna give you like a little white envelope like this, and they're gonna tell you to give it to your recruiter. So I'm gonna open this up and show y'all what I got on my actual ASVAB. Okay, So, see, I got a 39. Let me cover up my personal information. So, y'all see my line scores, and this just came from me studying for only like 4 days, though, right? So I studied for like 4 days, you know what I'm saying? That's still no excuse, right? That's still no excuse. I should have did better, but at least I passed. You know, there's people that take months and months and months and months to pass, or years, matter of fact. But anyways, yeah, once I got this back, I was super duper excited, and then the other guy, he gets done like an hour later, and it's pouring down raining outside. I had took off my shirt, you know, because I had a tank top on under my shirt. So I took off my shirt to put over my head so I can go run down the stairs and get inside the car. And once I got in the car, me and the recruiter were talking and stuff. He seemed very excited at first until the other dude got in the car. You know what I'm saying? But that's fine. It's okay. It's cool. So the other guy, he finishes like an hour later. He comes, he gets in the car, and you know, I'm getting ready to congratulate him. I'm finna get excited, and he finna get turned. I'm finna get turned pretty much. Uh, he gets in the car. He's like, hey man, what I get? What I score? The crew's like, hey man, you scored a 19. And then the Hispanic guy thought he was playing with him, like basically like bullshitting with him, right? So he's like ha 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 ha. Nah, man, for real, like what I get. And then the recruiter kind of got a little spicy with him. He was like, look, man, I'm dead serious. Like you can check inside your envelope. You got an F in 19, and I feel so bad for the guy, like because I'm like, dang, for one. I know he was anxious because, he's like 23. He got 3 kids. He's looking for a better lifestyle. So I feel bad for him. But the recruiter, on the other hand, the way he kind of treated him was like, darn, man. Like, like, what if that was me? Like, like, what if that was me? Like, I don't know if I would have been able to hold my composure like that. Like, not saying that I would have spazzed out on him or nothing like that. But I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have gained some ill feelings towards him because I'm like, hey man, you wouldn't have to talk to me like that. We're all humans, we're grown men. Speak with compassion. Encourage me to do better next time. But the way he was speaking to him was as if like, man, I just lost all faith in you. You know what I'm saying? Speaking to him like he was a child, or like he was basically belittling him, and I just found a problem with that. But anyways. And then the Hispanic guy asked me what did I score. I told him. His whole face just frowned up, like, what I'm saying, the car, like, it was probably like one of the most quietest car rides I ever had, you know what I'm saying? I called it the car ride of doom, you know what I'm saying? Because, man, like, he was just quiet, the recruiter was quiet, I was quiet, nobody was talking, all because of the Hispanic guy scored really low. So, you know what I'm saying? When I got to the recruiting office, there was a recruiter in there, and he was basically telling me that everything was good, just continue to get my tattoos removed, and we'll be good to go. And he told me to keep my job, my what do you call it, to keep what jobs I wanted to do open, like keep an open mind for them. But to be honest, in my head, I'm like, I already know what I want to do. There's nothing that y'all can tell me that's going to persuade me to do something else that I don't want to do. Because like I said, to my friends, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be signing a contract. Why sign a contract with something that you either have no experience in, or like you just don't want to do? It doesn't make sense because now you just signed a 4 to 6 year contract and you're miserable. You know what I'm saying? And y'all can't get out. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all can't put y'all 2 weeks notice in. That's not finna happen. So now y'all stuck with a job that y'all don't want to do. So like when these recruiters is trying to pressure y'all, man, just I don't care if you gotta wait an extra 30 days. Just wait till your job come available and do it. So I went to go see my recruiter like 2 days ago to let him see my tattoo to see if it was getting better. So basically he told me that my hand, I don't really have to worry about that no more, but I'm still gonna get it done anyway just because I don't want to get to medical and then they're like, disqualifying me and stuff, right? But then in the meantime, he's telling me, hey, so like I said, just keep your options open. I'm wondering, like, why does he keep telling me that? And the other guy said something about some infantry, and I'm like, so they keep trying to push me towards infantry, but in my head, I know I'm not finna do that anyways. Why would I do infantry? There's nothing wrong with infantry, I think the infantry for doing what they do, but infantry is not something that I want to do. That doesn't interest me. So by me saying that, you know what I'm saying, like just have a strong mindset. Like they're gonna try to make it sound sweet. And I know it sounds cliche that you watch all these YouTube videos and you hear the same exact thing, how the recruiter try to talk to you sweet. And I must say, I thought it sounded cliche too. I did not believe it. When I went in there, I seen it from my own eyes. Well, if you don't like the job, you can change your job after 18. What was it, like 12? No, it was like 18 months or something like that. But then I talked to somebody else and it was like, you know what, it's not that easy. You can change your job, but it all depends on whatever MOS you're trying to choose next. If they need you at the time, it's all based upon the needs of the Army versus you trying to get recruited and you're not in the Army yet, and then you go ahead and choose the job that you really want. Then it's different. But you know what I'm saying? They're sweet talking the mess out of me, and I already know what's going on. So in my head, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like this was my enlistment experience, not enlistment experience, but Asvab / Picat experience. Um, if y'all got any other comments, hit the comment section. Please like my video. Please subscribe, because I can't do it without y'all. I'm trying to grow my fan base, so I'm trying to grow my page. Y'all, please subscribe and like. I cannot do it without y'all, and I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to think of something else to say before I leave. Well, okay, so one more thing. Like, when I did go to Meps to take my ASVAB, I would say that I was looking for a more hostile environment, just based upon the videos that I've seen of, like, people grilling you and like trying to antagonize you and stuff to try to get you disqualified. I didn't see any of that. Like, just to be honest with you, I didn't see any of that. They weren't polite, but they weren't rude neither. It was more like a nonchalant attitude. I think the worst thing that I've seen while I was there was when I was going to go check in. When the guy called my name so I can take my test, he looked at me and was like, "Yeah, I bet you cheated, didn't you?" You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like the only thing that somebody said while I was there to try to antagonize me. But you know what I did? I just looked at him, made a fake little giggle, like, yeah. Y'all know them fake giggles that y'all make, you know what I'm saying? Like when something really ain't funny, but you don't want to be awkward about it. So I just gave him one of them fake little giggles, and I just looked at him and said, "Thank you, sir." And I walked off and went to go sit down quietly. So that's what I did, and that's what I want y'all to do too, you know what I'm saying? But the Meps experience, the first part, it was cool. Wasn't nothing wrong with it. I don't see what everybody talking about. But then again, it's different based upon the states you in, based upon the Mep station that you go to. It's all different. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all and take care.